Hello everybody, Corey here. In this video we're going to go over the ULTY trades and holdings for today, which by the time you're watching this, I always say today in all my videos, but then they're always a day behind, so I apologize. But I know it's midnight now here, but yeah, so what is today? Monday. So the trades for Monday, May 13th. Anyway, I'm not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. I just gather the data that's available out there to us publicly, and then I present it to you, and hopefully, in a manner you can understand. If for some reason I'm not explaining something because maybe you're brand new and I forget to explain some things, just let me know. But I want you to, take this data, use this along with the other information you receive from reading the perspectives, looking in the, reading through the risk, understanding everything, and using all this to make informed, decisions and your own opinions. So, and then, here's the rest that are on their website. And, just a reminder, these are income ETFs, so you make money every month, and not growth ETFs. So I did do the daily holdings already. And then I went through the GME stock there. And I'm going to go through it again. So if you already watched that one, I apologize. And you want to watch these trades and holds, just fast forward until you see today's trades come up on the screen. I apologize. I was not thinking about it, and I should have done this as a totally separate video. So mainly so I wouldn't have to explain this twice. But so let's just do a little recap here, or we'll look at what happened. So Friday, I had went back and and calculated all the prices for all those short calls because we didn't have any trades posted on Friday. And I remember talking about there was 5 that were possibly going to have to pay to close out. Of course, the market went down, so there's a possibility that we wouldn't have had to have. But I went and looked, and once I ran the numbers with what the market closed at and everything, I saw there should have been one on there, and that was GME. GME had a short call with a strike price of $15.50, and it closed. I don't know if this is the actual. Okay, so it closed at 1801. I think in the last video, just scrolling on the screen, I wasn't very accurate at it. I might have said 17 something. And then I should have I still didn't think about it. I should have brought up my moo thing and showed y'all. You know what? I think I could pull up Webull, and it doesn't show account numbers and everything. No, so let's look it up. GME. I'm not very familiar with this one though. So if we go to days, so when I was scrolling through here earlier, I was like at the 1 minute thing trying to figure out. So it's not going to be, exactly accurate. Of course, that's not what I want either. Why isn't it like going to... Okay, see, I don't even know how to use this Webull thing. Why isn't it just giving me the daily numbers? I'm like looking for... It's still like hourly or something at the bottom. All right. So that's not going to work. I'm sorry. I don't know how to use Webull. I don't know why I thought I would try. I'll just put it on the daily and Moo. It'll show me the candlesticks by day. Instead of what I was trying to do, I was scrolling around on the minute thing. So let me just check. But, if I remember, no, that was a regular formula. So Friday... Yeah, see, this is showing... This is what I said earlier, 1746. So I don't know why this is saying 1801. Unless I did this really early on Friday, which I really doubt that I did. I don't know why the stock price would have said that on that day. Oh, I'm sorry. I know why. Because this is the holdings the day before. And I was just using that so I could see all the short calls that we had the day before. That's why. Okay, I confused myself. I thought I'd done messed up in the previous video. So anyway, they had the strike price of $15.50. We closed at what did I say, 17.46 or 47, something like that. So clearly we closed up about $2. Therefore, if that one of two things would have happened, they would have closed GME out early, GameStop out early because they were gonna, in case it was gonna go up and they just wanted to hurry up and get out of it, or they would have just waited and see what happened at the end of the day. And of course, either way, they were going to have to close it and they weren't on the trade. So since it wasn't on there, what I just did is I just looked at where we were at the end of the day, and looked at the difference between the stock prices and the number of contracts. And then I just added a line. It's not 100%, probably not 100% accurate, but it'd be fairly close. And so that's what I did for the short call. What I didn't, I think I thought about it, but I never went back and looked. When we do the synthetics, if you've watched this long enough with me and followed along, when a stock or when a short call was assigned or they were over their stock price, at the close of the expiration, which is usually on a Friday, well, yeah, unless there's a holiday or something. But if they were over the price and they were going to have to, they get assigned, they're going to have to pay somebody money, whatever. I don't know what everybody's level is of options and trading and stuff like that. But anyway, in this case, they were had to pay somebody money, right? Because it went over the strike price or the price that it needed to be. It wasn't on the trade, so I just generated something. And I didn't think about it that normally what happens is, of course, we just been in the stocks just this past week again, that when a short call is assigned like that, that they also close out these synthetic positions. Now, I don't know the why or whatever around it, and I haven't asked Jay. Honestly, I just know that that's what happens. And I thought about it and I was wondering, well, did the same thing happen with stocks? And we were in the stocks a short time frame before also, and I did not go back and look to see if it was the same thing. Did they close out the stock when they had the short call was assigned? And so I just waited, and when the holdings came out, as you can see, trades were blank, no trades. I made a note. When the holdings came out, well, GME here, stock was still on here. If normally, if the, short call was assigned and the synthetics were, closed, both of those would be on the trades and neither one of them would be on the holdings. So once I saw on this holdings, there was really no need for me to, go back and investigate, anymore. So I didn't. So then today, and even all day up until the new trades posted this evening, GME was still on there. And then when I saw the trades come out, GME was not on here. And I had made the comment earlier today, well, I wonder, if they'll even do a short call on GME today or just hold the stock. And so when I didn't see it on the trades, then I thought, okay, well, maybe they just didn't do a short, didn't do a short call. I think I said short trade. If I did, I'm sorry. But anyway, then when the holdings came out, GME was not on it. So I try my best not to bother Jay too much anymore. Anyway, but I felt the need to have to do this, especially after all the hype around all of this today. So I did reach out to him, and he came back and said, that I got assigned last week, which I knew that part, right? And then I just went into about well, it wasn't on the trades, but I looked it up and I saw that had happened, but the stock was still on the holdings. So we just all assumed that that ULTY still had GME with it. And he said, no. And he actually, this is where I learned something new. And he said option assignments actually happen on Saturday. So it was technically correct at the end of Friday, he's saying, GME being on there because, it didn't whatever till Saturday. But, as we all know by watching these, they are normally not on there at the end of that day, at least when it came to the synthetics. The synthetic would be gone, the short call would be gone. But so I learned something new that option assignments happen on Saturday, and then he talks about, just for anybody who wants to know, he says settlement of equity trades can cause a delay as well in the cash calculation. And I didn't think to ask him if I had a few outstanding questions from the last time we had talked. And I don't know if that answers one of the questions that I had before. But anyway, he said, I know this is clear as mud, but it's a problem with the industry in general. So, I just wanted to put that out there and let you know, because I know, especially within the Discord, we all talked about all day that that it was awesome that ULTY had GME, and that this happened at the right time, and then it didn't. And then one thing I didn't talk about in this video, so if you weren't tracking this, you're not in the Discord, you don't really pay attention, you don't follow the stock market, you just invest and you're done, or whatever. GME, Roaring Kitty, if you don't know who that is, we're not going to go through that here, but he supposedly posted on Twitter, excuse me, and yeah, I think it was last night, because I remember when I saw it, but I didn't realize the significance of it. I know that supposedly, after the last thing he had to do and the last posting that he did, nobody had heard from him since, supposedly. And so I thought that was odd when they, it was mentioned and what they showed, which I didn't understand. Apparently, I understand it now because I had to look it up. I'm like, I don't even know what this is supposed to mean. And but anyway, it was very significant, and I guess it got everybody going crazy and whatever else. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, how do we even know that that's really Roy and Kitty, right? How do we know that his account didn't get hacked and somebody just posted something? Because why, after all these years, would he have just gone and posted what he posted? And then I didn't even realize it, but he had been posting throughout the day. I heard him at the end of the day talking about how he'd been posting all day. So then this evening, I actually took the time to try to go find the account. And I don't even know how to use Twitter, y'all. I have a Twitter account, mainly only so I could get YieldMax and get all their other people's stuff out there, Rex shares and Crane shares and all that stuff. But I don't even know how to use it. It's so confusing. It's difficult for me. I'm sorry. But I went out there and I don't even get it. The things he posted all day were like 30-second or so clips of movies and stuff, which didn't make sense to me. I don't know. Maybe some of you know. But I don't know. It made me think his account had to have gotten hacked. And apparently he just verified the account somebody pointed out a couple of months ago. So I don't even know. I don't know. I guess if it's him, he'll eventually show up maybe in a video. But at the same time, I'm like, unless he ran out of money, like, why would he even all of a sudden come to light, come back? I don't know. Anyway, GME, as we just talked about on Friday, I'm sorry, my head goes everywhere. Friday, what did I say? It closed at 1750-ish, 1740-ish. Today, the stock, because this happened, that tweet last night, so it started in pre-market, which I was afraid to do anything in pre-market with a stock like this, because we could have tanked it open. But anyway, it ended up opening today at 26.34. At the end of the day, it ended up closing at $30.45. Midday, it got up to $38.20, and then after hours, it had gotten up to $38. At one point, I saw it up to it was 110%. I don't know if that was at the $38 mark or what, but it was up a lot. Of course, if we look at just the closing price, it says it was up 74% today. But yeah, that would have been an awesome win for ULTY. Unfortunately, that was not the case. I know some people, we talked about in the Discord, some people had some shares or bought some shares this morning and might have made some money off of that today, along with AMC. But yeah, so that's what happened today. It was a pretty crazy day, and I think I really just concentrated on, when I did have time or look, was GME and AMC. So I guess we'll see what happens from here on out with those, and I don't know if we'll see those back in ULTY or not anytime soon, with them being pumped up almost, double actually more than double the dollar amount that they paid for GME last week. I went back and looked, and they paid $14 and something cents for GME when they bought the stock last Monday. So, but anyway, I think that's everything I said in the other video. So I'm going to stop there in case y'all don't want to see the holds and trades and holdings, but I'm going to go ahead and jump into what we have going on here today. So if y'all don't want to watch this or go through here, that's fine, and I will talk with y'all later, okay? All right, so trades. Obviously, we can see the trades over here on the side for the ones that we own. Hold on, I'm just looking at something. All right, sorry, I had to check something. But with that said, I checked something else that I was thinking about, because I said it in the video, in both videos, this one and the daily roundup, that I wasn't sure about, before, if they closed the stock out when they were assigned on the short call. We never had one of those, because previously when they held the stocks, it was only for 1 week, just like now. There might have been a couple here and there, but the only time that the stocks had ever been closed out, there was 2 of them. It was Nvidia, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head. Well, today was Mara, I think. I'll have to look over here. But anyway, they were like on a Monday. It wasn't a Friday because of assignment, but we only held those stocks for like a week. So on that Friday, when they did that, April 1st, when they did the, mass closeouts or whatever, closing everything out, we don't know. So we never, I would say it didn't never happen. I do not have any trades that show that we were assigned on ones that we owned the stock on at that time. Again, it was a short period. So I don't know. We'll have to see going forward if this happens again. Obviously, this will be the second week we have stocks. We'll see this Friday if any get assigned, and if so, if they stay on the holdings or not. So I have to look for that. And then the other thing that I had happen here is beyond here and another one. I had the tickers wrong when I was doing them, because I have to look up since they've changed custodians, I'm assuming that the new custodian wants them to use the CUSIP number. I don't know, I'm guessing here. And so now the ticker's no longer on those. So when I looked them up on these two, like Beyond and so apparently that CUSIP used to be the Overstock, which of course we know Overstock and Beyond, that's one thing now. And so I had it on here wrong. And then the same thing for, which one was it? Viking Therapeutics. Look, I didn't even write over here. Viking Therapeutics was, I guess, Medi before. Either that, or I just totally wrote down the wrong thing when I was Googling it. It's just, I'm just throwing the CUSIP in the Google, and yeah, that's so professional or whatever they write. But anyway, So I messed those up, but I'd already pasted values or whatever, and so the data wasn't picked up. So I need to stop to add those here. And I might not have called it. However, I had just done the daily, and on the daily we show that they, added to every single one of the stocks for the week, and we can see where they've, made it so it would somewhat even out, balance, except for Beyond. That was only one there. And then, well, and I haven't even sorted these, and they're all over the place. Maybe I did sort these, but I was just looking at something else that looked like they were all over the place. I don't know. Maybe it just looks that way because I'm losing it. But anyway, we did have one that was closed out of here, which was Mara. No, it wasn't closed out totally. Anyway, but we see 46,700. Yeah, I didn't even close any out, so I knew nothing was closed out. They did end up selling, though, some of the Mara shares, uh, stock shares, 46,700 there. But then you can see right above, that they bought in, well, not bought in, but they did a position for the short call this week. So if we go over here, we'll be able to see all of those. Let's just go down. Yes, we have Mara right there. And in fact, this actually shows the closing out on here because we still have it, so it's going to show it on the page. So all of the well, not all of these. There's a few, we had 3 short calls last week that, that are old. But, yeah, I'm not going to read them. I'm not going to. I'm sure y'all don't want me to either. But you can see it's lined up here with the holdings. All of these, obviously, you can see all the short calls. The only short calls we had here from last week, you can see here the line's blank. We have Giga Cloud that had that $45 strike, and you can see we're 90% under that. So that's why it's a significant difference, because we've had this from last week. You see the one they did this week, the strike price is 40, so we're 9%, so it would have been closer. So you can see here at Janix down here also, see this was a $70 strike price from last week, and we're 29% below that. And we had one more, I think, Root. This one's, well, I guess this stock actually went up on us versus down like the other one, so it's really close. So those are the 3 that we owned last week, or that we had positions on last week. So all the rest of these short calls are brand new. And then you saw we closed out of some of the Mara stock shares. And then for the rest of these, they've actually added to them, to equal up to the total amount, to match with the amount of the short calls. So you can see all those, again, the dollar amounts there, the share and the total, if you want to see those are the contracts. But what we'll do, I won't go through those individually, but we will look over here, and we can see that also the stock price increased for ULTY by 90 cents. And we have 19 tickers here, 93.6 million. I think it's a little over 3 million more net assets, with about additional 75,000 outstanding shares. Looks like all of our short call net trades is about 46 cents, with the short call premium received as of today being about $1.33. All right, so let's get in here and see what we have for the week. We have a firm. So all of these short calls will expire this week. We don't have any going out to next week. So that's good. So short call, well, good because I don't have to read it for each time, and y'all don't have to listen to me read it. But we have, all right, so the firm has a $35 strike price, which we're currently under by 9%. And the stock price did go up 1% today. Beyond here, strike price of $22, and we're below that by 10%. But we ended up actually coming up 17% today. And so this is a new short call. That's interesting. All right. Makes me want to go look at the intraday part for Beyond. I wish I'd have thought about setting my Moo account up so I could see stuff. Yeah, it's a huge candle there on it. But looks like it opened at 1760 today. Yeah, 1760. Closed at 1979. I just don't know where we got this $22 strike price at. Well, their high of the day was $20.82, so maybe that's why. And that was, it looks like it was right in the morning, so that's probably why then. Yeah, so they hit $20.82 at 10 o'clock in the morning. So that's why it's so significant difference anyway, because usually, it wouldn't be that big of a drop, and I could understand if that was from last week, that we would have been that far up underneath it, but yeah. All right. And I didn't explain this, and I forget sometimes that we have new people, but we want our stock price to be under the strike price for the short call. And, we have the shares or contracts in column Y with the total market value in column AA. But in column AP, this shows you, this was more significant when we had the synthetics. But this shows you how it affects the ULTY stock price here. So, for example, a firm stock, of the $16.30, stock price of ULTY, 81 cents, about 81 cents is attributed to the affirmed stock. And that's the way you look at it. Or the next one, the affirmed short call, it shows that it's bringing the ULTY stock price down by 1 cent. So that's how you read that over on the side. Again, you'll see a big difference if anybody was actually over their strike prices, which we don't have any of those. So we're not going to see that. Of course, you see we have negative cash down here of negative 2.6 million. So that one ends up having that. Of course, these two will cancel mostly out. It'll be left with 50 cents. But we can see here we have like Riley negative 5 cents. These aren't really that significant anymore. But when we had the when we were holding the synthetic positions, those could go way down negative. But anyway, in case you're new to that. And then columns R and S, that's the stock price and then the change for the day, if you haven't already gathered that part of it for anybody that was new. But anyway, so let's move on. So we have Beyond here, $22 strike, 10% below that strike price. The stock price was 17% today. Then we have Celsius here, short call, strike price $90. We're underneath that by 4%, and the stock rose by 5% today. CGC, strike price $10.50. We're below it by 11%, and the stock rose 4% today. Clean Spark here, we have a 1750 strike price. We're below that by 11%. It does look like it may have been down a few cents there. Coin, I don't know what happened, what was going on with Bitcoin or pretty much anything else that happened today, unless it was GME or AMC, so I'm not sure. But I know Coin had closed, I can see it here, closed under 200 today. So anyway, we have strike price here of 210. I think it was I think I saw it 206 pre-market is something, but or 5% below the strike price, and the stock went down 1% today. So not sure what's going on with Bitcoin or if it's just Coinbase itself. But CleanSpark also was sort of down a little bit. Last time I saw, well, I only looked at Bitcoin once today, and I remember it seeing it 62,000. And when I say today and everything, I am talking about right now, May 13th. It's, yeah, so it's technically the 14th this second. So with that said, the 14th, because I might have misspoke in my other video and somebody made a comment, so I probably misspoke and wasn't thinking about what I was saying. But obviously all this stuff is from the 13th. Declaration date is the 14th, which is technically today. So pre-market, we should see those numbers. And then the ex-dividend date is tomorrow, which is Wednesday, the 15th. And then the stock will drop, tomorrow, the 15th. But anyway, it gets a little confusing if I'm not doing, crossing midnight with videos and stuff. And then I know that you're not going to see them, even if I'm doing it at 11, I know you're not going to see it till after midnight. So it just makes things a little confusing, and I don't think about that sometimes when I'm saying today or tomorrow or whatever. So I do apologize for any confusion with that. But I was going to look something up, and I don't even know what it was because I thought of that. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was one of these Bitcoin. I was going to look at the price of Bitcoin to see where we were right now. We're still around 62.5. All right, and then Carvana. If I remember correctly, last week, that one was one that we lost, or I say lost, but we had to pay like, I don't know, $500,000 or something to close out. I guess it had to be, I don't know, I guess it didn't have to be the synthetics, but it was something. But here we are again. All right, after I said that, I did check because I'd hate for me to have misspoke. And it wasn't Carvana. So I don't know which one that was, but it was not Carvana. So anyway, Carvana here, wow, $125 strike price. We're underneath that by 6%. It looks like we did go down a few cents there today. GigaCloud Technology. So now we have two short calls here. We have one with a strike price of $40, which we're under by 9%. And then we have one with a strike price of $45, and we're underneath that one by 19%. And then GigaCloud went down 3% today. And then we have Janix. We also have two short calls here. So we have a $50 strike price and a $70 strike price. So it looks like we are only 1 cent away from the $50 strike price. And we are 29%, the stock price is 29% below the $70 strike price. Janix, it looks like, did come up 2% today. I don't know, I guess my formula is different now, or maybe it's because I resorted everything. I don't know. Because usually I don't have those there, those extra lines. That's irritating now. All right, I'll have to try to remember to check that out. I mean, they could all be there, right? It's just that I try not to have anything extra on the screen if I don't have to, especially if it's duplicate stuff like that. But anyway, Lyft here, strike price is $17.50. We're underneath that by 2%, which is only 42 cents, and we actually went down 1% today. So we were like right there at it. Mara strike price is $18.50. We're 7% below that, with the stock price being up 1% today. MicroStrategy strike price is $13.35. We're 7% below that, and the stock price did come up 6% just today. Man, and here we go. We got B. Riley, 37.50 straight price. We're underneath at 7%, but we came up 9% today. Root here. So we have two short calls here for Root. We have a $65 strike price and a $70 strike price. So we're underneath those by 3 and 10%. And the stock went down 1% today. Sunrun, we have a strike price of $12.50. We're underneath that by 8%, and the stock price came up 2% today. SMCI, $825 strike price. We're under that by 5%, and the stock went down 2% today. Symbotic, $44.50 strike price. We're underneath that by 4%, while the stock came up 2% today. Upstart, $29.50 strike price. We're below that by 7%, but the stock did come up 8% today. And then we have Viking Therapeutics here with a $77 strike price, which we're under by 6%. And the stock itself went down 2% today. Honestly, I feel like since we've gone to holding the stocks versus the synthetics, looking at the holdings is sort of boring. I mean, yeah, I guess we see the strike prices of I think it's just because, like, I don't really care so much to look over in the right-hand column now to see, where we're at on differences and stuff, because the stock price is always going to be positive, and I'm usually looking to see what is bringing the stock price down, over there. In the synthetics, you could always see if the synthetic was bringing it down or bringing it up, and we don't have that anymore. So I don't know. Are y'all bored of this now? I don't know. Just a thought that I had there, but looking good right now. Nobody's, obviously it's just Monday and we just had the trade, so nobody is above. However, we had the one that was 1 penny away, Janix here. We have a 3% on Root, and then a 4% for Celsius and Symbotic there. So I'm not sure how the week's going to go. But anyway, I'll let y'all go. I'm actually starting to get tired. I was hoping to get a lot more videos out tonight, as I know I have a lot to catch up on. But anyway, I'll let y'all go, and I will talk to y'all later. Thank you.